Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they come up now, second and goal.
Okay, we're going to be seeing Daniel Jones going in for the Colts, followed by Anthony Richardson, and that's it. Cooper Rush, and there's Lamar Jackson. He must really feel disassociated, sitting on the bench thinking, why can't I go in there and be a halfback pretending to be a quarterback? Whoa. Hey man, that's a low blow. Well, I mean, come on. Lamar Jackson is a halfback, pretending to be a quarterback. Right. Really? Well, I'm calling it as I see it from my point of view. Okay. You get beaten up later. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
On the set. Let's go.
And now the first throw from back in the corner. This is caught. And for the Lions touchdown. Isaiah Likely for 4 yards out. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Tyler Luke now for the extra point. And it's up and good enough to score 13-3. So the drive there took 6 plays. And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Stop time at the 25. And the Colts getting ready to go. They're in a 13-3 hole here now as they come up on first down. Looking to put a drive together. Now Jones. Taking it by Western Duel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive. It's a quick first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Get to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They got it right across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball. But I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can. And that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens will take
don't you see? Is he colorblind? Come on, man. Ah.
Pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his...
Come on. That is irresponsible, reckless, and downright disgusting. Okay. Now he's looking. He's looking. Does he see him? I don't know. Does he see him? Well, maybe he sees this guy and says, oh, let me throw it to him, never mind number 2. The Raven standing in front of him. Why is he standing behind him? I don't know. Like a deer caught in headlights. I don't know. Is there like a behind the scenes online gambling going on? Oh. That could be. You never know. Has he placed money on this game? Because that's so obvious. That is just so disgusting.
Or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
That means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run, and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing here, Rush. A short throw caught by Andrews. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Wasn't that cool about the gain there on 2nd down? That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They're going to run the option on 3rd and short yardage. He will be close to a first down as he runs over the wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Jordan 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Just 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your coach, oh, this hurts the defense. X, Y, and Z, and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
When the hitch routers run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender, give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football.
Catch. A gain of 11 at 10, and it comes 1st down.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. On 1st down, a block to throw. And the catch is made. simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be at practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Now for the point after. And he puts it truly within 3. It's 13-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He's going to get that at the line of scrimmage and take it down. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going again on the ground here with Hill. Again, he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Rush to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here's Jordan Stout now. Offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive. They both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker, safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well. Because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop the throw. Traffic there, that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 17 more on that one and another 1st down. first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he's locked up, taken down, back in the 25. Mike Green. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, that's even a double team. That's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Herbert powering up the middle. The difference seemed to finding Miller. We'll get back to the line of scrimmage against him. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Defensively, he's been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, Jones. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And now Mitchell from 8 yards out. And the Colts have taken the lead. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
They'll go in for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Sanchez to kick off for the interval.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. And the Ravens taking the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Rush. Never Gallimore powering his way in and burying it. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Rush. It's a short one to his tight end. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brings up
The completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. To throw his rush. He's able to find Morris. He's already at 40 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down the distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now down as a punter, Jordan Stout. He's been a busy man here this first half as he gets it away. Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Let's go now. A handoff for Herbert. And he gets snapped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving up.
That's Mitchell. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And the throw in the catch were just fine. They get zone coverage when you run a drag route. What you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run, but everyone else their eyes back towards the quarterback, and they're able to see the route.
He's going to be taken out here. Set back at the 32. John Jenkins. Never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. And it's thrown incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approached this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play.
Jones in trouble here. Down he goes. John Jenkins able to drop it that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Zone for a touchback. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field as we eat closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They begin the drive. Running lanes non-existent in this first half as they'll stop it behind the
especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Back to throw, rush. Got his target. That's great. It's always a good place to throw just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on his team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced a third down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded at about the 28. He's got this almost a quarter before going out. 46-yard boot with just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Little goes again at 4. And that'll make it 7 now.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. The 43-yard line.
Now they'll throw here. Around the gun. He's got his man in stride. Complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun. Jones. This one is broken up. The contact well tucking there. And now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3-and-out.
Now there's Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. First half. Now the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. The motion to tight end across the formation. Throwing to start the drive. Rush. Inside and caught by Cole. They'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Hey! 1918! Let's go!
This time they'll just keep this on the ground. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.